Hi everybody. Well, on this video I will be discussing and talking about deer, trail cameras, and other stuff, and I'll be drawing on a whiteboard. Let's get started. Okay. On placing trail cameras, it's best to place them north and south. If you place them east and west, you will get light pollution. The sunset and the sun rising will give you glare and set your camera off and waste your battery, your time, and fill your camera full of junk videos that cannot be used. So stick to north and south directions for setting your cameras. Always remember, if you're going to bait your trail cameras, which I would not suggest to do it too much of, always stick to your conservation rules, and to be able to avoid hunting seasons of different animals so that you do not get a fine. Okay, now when you're hunting, you can use sky views of different things from your GPS on your phone to different sites, and use those sky views to look for funnels or natural bridges made by trees. That connects two major pieces of woods. If you're deer hunting and you're looking for an old buck with a good rack, he's not going to go out in the field. He's going to stay to these little trails like this. The only thing that's going to make him change his mind about coming through here is if there's a house with noise pollution. Barking dogs, people moving through the yard, working on farm equipment. Then he's going to stay more away from the house. And if it's too much, he'll wait till nighttime when it gets quiet. But if you keep an eye out for places like this is your best chance of finding deer, especially with all the logging that keeps going on anymore. If your land's all filled, you're going to have a harder time getting the big bucks to come to you. Now you'll have plenty of does and young bucks coming to you though. Now let's say there was a house here with noise pollution. He would definitely come through at night, or he would try to find a different route. But look for funnels created by the woods of trees. And these are the places you'd want to set up for if there's no homes nearby. Okay. Without putting property lines, I would have trail cam 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. The deer are moving through here, and that's why trail camera 3 is picking up the most activity. And then there's a major highway back off over in here. Anyway, they're after the two main pieces of deep woods. A long time ago, the same piece of property that you're watching the trail cam videos here on, the bucks didn't have very good antlers. We hardly ever saw a turkey. And then people came in here and they went to tearing out the trees and making farmland, and just went to making this funnel shape. If somebody came through here and cut more of this out, the deer would go elsewhere. The deer that's on the property are not here because of any special food plots, or mineral blocks. They're here just because of the devastation of the forest. If you use sky views to pick out funnel spots where the wood still connects to the major big pieces, you have more of a chance of still finding deer, at least the big bucks. Okay. I always hear people talk about don't move the rocks, don't move that limb, the deers will notice, they won't move to the area. Heck, I've been tromping through the woods to get my trail camera, and the deer went to using the same trail, and then they followed my old trail over to the air trail camera that I quit using, and then it converted off elsewhere, which was the first way I came in here in the first place. So I've noticed the deers will go ahead and use the trails that you've already made. So the whole don't move something, the only thing you don't want to do, you don't want to bulldoze the property off. You don't want to cut your trees out. That's the big thing the deers don't want. Moving a rock or a twig ain't gonna matter to them. Anyway, that's what I've noticed. Now, a lot of people will take and they'll get a fancy feeder because they're busy, and I understand that. But this feeder is what the deer's getting used to. They're not getting used to you. So every so often this thing's throwing out feed. Okay, that's great. You get the deer to come into the area. But if you came into the area and you tossed the food and eliminated this, and let's say you went out in the woods at least once a week and threw out feed. You don't have to toss out tons of feed to get the deer to come around. You just gotta entice them a little. Scatter it out. Don't have to be in no pile. Make them work for it. Anyway, the deers are gonna get used to your scent, and they're gonna come around more. And then when it comes time to hunting, they're not gonna be afraid of you. Some people might think that, I'm not even gonna say it, but so anyway, the deer will no longer be afraid of you if you're the one that's giving them their food. Make it a treat. Don't just dump tons of feed out there and make them dependent on you. That's just wrong. Okay. But you can see this part in my video, but I've noticed these mineral rocks really work out pretty good, and you don't have to worry about no name brands on that behalf, because there's multiple companies that does this, and it all comes from the earth, and you can't patent nature. So, mineral rocks and salt rocks, stuff like that, a good old water source, these are the things that you can actually bait with and not have to worry so much about. Of course, you want to check with your state. In Missouri, mineral rocks are safe. You really don't have to bait the deer all the time. Alright, so let's say that you want to keep track of a deer. You find a rub. That's great. I walk past the rub, next to the rub all the time. Found multiple bucks used to this. That's something I didn't even know. They didn't even care I was around. They still came there, they still used it, so this would be where you'd want to put your trail cam if you're after deer. Me, I actually was after a fox when I got started. One thing I've noticed about having a trail camera, I think it's time for them all to convert all their trail cameras to a battery pack and then sell spares. None of that stuff where you have to go online to buy the extra battery pack things. They should actually come with one. And then a plug-in piece to charge it. That would be a lifesaver. I mean, good grief, you got 8 batteries every 3 to 4 months, depending on how much deer move through. And if the deer move through, they're too heavy. I went through more batteries on trail camera 3 than I did on 2 and 1. And that's not environmentally good. So I would really like to see them start putting battery packs. in these things. And I'm pretty sure some of the more expensive ones already done that, but I think they all should. But that's just my opinion. Thank you for listening to me rambling on about deer and stuff as I draw on the whiteboard. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And be sure to check out my other videos. Thank you for watching.